Hi all, this is Alan. I hope everyone's well. And today we're going to be doing something different. Although you can see that I've almost finished with my painting. You can see some of the fine details, which is good for me, right? But I'm using white as a expressive paint style that I've learned from the Zen painters of expressionism and action painting, similar to what's his name? Pollock. Yeah, Pollock, and the abstract expressionists, and Zen writing and Chinese writing and what's it called? Sanskrit writing. So I'm kind of incorporating that using different colors and trying to keep it conservative but yet expressive. I'm thinking that might be a new approach to take with my paintings, and I hope you like it too. In the background I'm playing some music because it is later in the day and we've had a busy day, right, Leroy? He's sleeping right now, or trying to sleep, and likes the music. So today I'm taking a challenge. I'm going to do a 13-week challenge on something that I've been really interested in doing even after graduate school. I've learned from reading other poets' work, as well as diving into more of what Edgar Allan Poe has written. As you know, he did short stories as well as poetry, although he is noted for his poetry more than he is noted for his short stories, because I guess some of them are considered children's stories. But many people do not know that he was one of the first mystery writers of our American genre, if you will. So not just Stephen King anymore, right? So from that, and the thrill of his writing and the suspense and speculation. So from that, and of course I'm still here, folks, just kind of going in the background here. So here you are. So from that, let me see if I can bring this up to where I want it to be. We've been having technical difficulties, so I'm trying to keep things very simple for us, technical wise, and trying not to open up too many windows. There we go. And so what I'm going to do is briefly describe what the challenge is, and then I'm going to go into the first 2 weeks of what I have produced. I'm going to read you some poetry, of course. And I'm not going to go into the visuals of it. I'm just going to read it out, and hopefully you can follow along. Please, if you do have hearing or visual impairments, please turn on the captions. I do not think I have captions here. If I do, I'm not versed in that, sorry. So please try to get help with that. So yes, there's going to be one long poem and one shorter poem that I'm going to read. Or it's actually not a poem, it's actually a visual, because the second reflection incorporates collage and collage and reflective writing. So so back it up, right? So here we go. All right, folks, here we go. I'm going to see you later. See you in a minute, okay? Hold on. This is what I'm doing. I created a syllabus for writing, integrative writing, which is based on composition writing, and I'll go down here to show you. As a future or hopeful and trained developmental creative writer, teacher, instructor, I wanted to incorporate compositional writing and research writing, introductory. But first we have to go through the courses of for adult learners. where my young adult learners, of course, that's where most college students are, or they're developing into adults. And so I'm taking it from my own experience. So here we go. What this course encompasses is going to integrate into the above course. So I'm going to read this out quickly. Developmental English composition for adult learners. This course is designed to build essential reading, writing, and critical thinking skills for adult learners transitioning into collegiate education, emphasizing interdisciplinary connections. Excuse me, folks. I gotta turn this off for us. Sorry. Transitioning into collegiate education, emphasizing interdisciplinary connections. This course integrates the arts, sciences, medical fields, and athletic pursuits, aiming to equip students in these fields with the necessary tools for academic success. So we're creating a foundation in this course with the incorporating concepts of diversity, equity, inclusion, and supporting strategies for first generational students, especially with those with disabilities and those with backgrounds in athletics or the sciences. Students with learning will learn how to engage with academic text, conduct research, communicate effectively and critically, analyze text ideas within context of their discipline, interest, and background. This is not to say that we are just focusing on certain groups of people. We are focusing on the whole course and individuals as a spectrum of learners. Okay? So, that is my challenge in future coursework, and why I try to use stratification educational standards. So, that is because I understand educational stratification is based on classism and economics, which no education should be no one should be limited in their pursuit of further education. It's just that we all have limits and strengths, and how do we incorporate those into our everyday learning. So this course is grown out of that. It's so we're going beyond the foundational, because most of you have learned about digital what is it they call it? Assistant technologies for digital age literacy. You've all used those. If you don't know how to use them, please contact tutors, the learning centers that you have access to, and also reach out to community services. Okay, because just like many literacy volunteers, there are digital literacy volunteers. If you're not sure of that, please contact me and subscribe and like, because we'll be going into depth about that as I continue to explore my own learning. Meaning that I'm going to be taking it from my own personal experiences. I'm going to be learning with you. So therefore, I'm not going to be correcting your work. I would love to say that we're going to do this as a group and collectively, but please reach out to other people for support. Please start discussions online and create discussions, anything you can. There are many poetry groups, art groups, athletic groups, many Facebook groups that are out in social media universe where they can help to support. You can help to support one another. Even if you're an autistic learner or have some other developmental disabilities that contribute to your intellect and your learning. So I hope that helps you, because it's going to help me. This course is, I call it Writing and Creative Thinking in the Digital Age. Okay, formerly I created a visual literacy course, and so this is part of my background. Okay, weekly. So for me, the challenge is going to be to create weekly writing assignments or projects that I'm going to take on, as well as you will, if you like to. And they're going to be based in traditional and classic and creative writing exercises designed to integrate both academic and artistic approaches to writing. And it's going to be for everyone because we are all artists and creative people. So, revision profile, portfolio. So, ongoing revisions, reflections, growth throughout the course. So, one reflection will contribute to the other reflection. And if you are interested and want to focus more on that, I would say please type your reflections up and into your computer. They only have to be a page, and some of them can be shorter than that. I suggest that you progress from answering questions to paragraphs to pages and to eventually a presentation of your own work. And you will find that it will be satisfying. Okay, so group presentations. If you are part of a group online, then I would suggest that you continue that and start a conversation about what your challenge is as a integrative writer in the digital age. So in creating your revision profiles in your presentation, you will also continue a reflection journal. Now, again, your reflection journal does not have to be a book, although many of you like to write longhand. Okay, it can be paragraphs, poetry, visual images, and illustrations that help you to create your I would say your journal entries, which will hopefully be submitted and talked about and discussed with us. If you like to include them into the chat or the comments, I would be honored to look at them, and it would be great. But of course, keep them simple. For me, the journal entries have gone into depth, and I find that maybe a little misleading to other readers. So try to keep it simple. Start with a simple word or outline of 1, 2, 3, introduction, body, and conclusion, or introduction, 3 paragraphs, and a conclusion. Conclusionary or synthesis summary paragraph. Okay, so that would help you. I'm giving you all these verbal cues, and because I'm not going to be there to help you, but I can talk to you and comment and show you where I'm going with it, and that's how I'm going to approach this challenge. So discussions, participation, active participation in online discussions, providing constructive feedback or peers review. I do not get that, so I'm going to come from my own personal experiences from discussions that I've heard and have had in the past regarding the topics that we will be discussing and implementing. Okay, so it will be simple, and it's not graded, but you can grade yourself on based on that criteria or rubric of standards that you have for yourself as a future adult learner. Okay, so week by week breakdown. Week 1, we're going to introduce academic writing and creative expression. This assignment will include Chapter 1, They Say, I Say. Chapter 1, and I'm going to break this down even further, and I'm not going to give you the rest of the week, and we're going to go week by week. Not to surprise you, but to keep it simple. Okay? You do not have to produce the same work that I produce on the same week. You can produce it the week after. Okay, I'm going to show you what I do. You can do what you can do based on my examples. Does that make sense? I hope so. So these are examples and instructions, facilitation. I don't consider it a lecture because I'm not lecturing you. I'm providing you information which will help you in the future. Okay? So, this one I was working on for about 4 days. It's an introduction to academic writing and creative expression assignment. And they say, I say, first chapter. All right? You're writing a personal poem about your learning goals for this challenge. They say semester, but I mean this 13-week challenge. Now, it might take you 13 days. It might just take you 13 months or weeks. But it is a 13-week modeled course that I created. Okay? Do it at your leisure and take your time, because this is about you. It's not about me. It's not about a grade. It's not about your groups. Although if you do have contacts, please keep them in the loop. All right? Meaning keep in touch with them and connect and network. All right? Because your interests and your goals are important to you. All right. So watch. So I provided for you they say watch poetry and prose, finding your voice. Okay? Moreover, I wanted you to also look at here on YouTube. They have the chapter 1, Introduction to They Say, I Say. Okay? And this is by the authors. And you can find it by just typing in Introduction to They Say, I Say. That's what I did. Okay? And what I also did is then I typed in, which I'm going to copy and paste to make it easier for both of us. I did this. I went into, it says watch poetry and prose, finding your voice. Okay? And I kind of did a search for that. Right? But as you know, things are not always cut and dry. What you will have to do is find your voice, okay? So you can type in this, but what I did is I said, for me, it's disabled for individuals with dyslexia and dyslexia, yeah. Mental health, trauma. Okay? And I said artist, just to give it a broader focus, okay? And then I just did that for myself. And then I came up with these people. I did watch this gentleman, and you can see the red here, and I did watch this young lady, and their work is very powerful. They use literally the voice. They also educate you on what slam poetry is and what it isn't. This young lady, I watched her work, and she was talking about the power of about create. I don't remember. So about using cues, I guess. I don't remember her so much as I do remember this young lady. She was talking about ways of using your unique voice and creativity and so forth. So I don't remember all of them because I watched 5 of them, You can watch how many you want, but I would also come back to this and also fill this out as best you can to inform your work. So what I did is I went to the last assignment here, and she instructed us to do certain things. Okay, here it is. So I'll pause that for a minute. Oops. Go back. Sorry, folks. All right. So, and I'll just bring it up because it's easier, I guess. And I'll just bring it back here. Let's see if we can get this. Oops. Nope. We're going to have some difficulties here. Okay. All right.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now, wish me luck. Grammarly has again been a lifesaver with my application.
So, no, thank you. I'm glad. You can use Grammarly too, but that's not what this course is about. It's not about using assistant technologies to write a paper. It's about thinking about writing papers. All right? It's about using critical thinking and integrating your work into your papers. Okay? So this assignment or work, I would say it's a mini lesson. What you will do and what she has provided you with is the whole first chapter, okay? And what you just need to fill out is, I'm interested in writing about topic 1, okay? Because 2, this topic bothers some people because they think blank. Okay, what does other people think? However, these people might be surprised to learn 4. If I choose to write about this topic, I will be sure to discuss blank. Okay. Okay. So what you're doing and what I've done, if you want to include yourself in this challenge, is express to me or write for yourself a personal reflection. And that personal reflection will come from they say, I say. Because what you're going to do is start with your personal reflection. You're going to start with writing a you can start with a personal poem. I would say it doesn't have to be strictly a poem, but I would say more of a writing exercise about your learning goals. What is your learning goals in this semester? Who are you? What is your career aspirations? What do you want to learn as a critical writer in the digital age? Okay. I don't think we're going to talk a lot about research writing, but definitely talking about paraphrasing and maybe quoting and referencing our work, but that's not what this course ultimately is about, or this challenging course. How's that sound? It is about becoming comfortable with who you are as a new writer and as a collegiate student learning to write. And you're going to discuss in this writing, it can start as your personal reflection. How's that sound? And you're going to discuss your personal writing style or your hopes and writing. That's not correct. You're going to write in your own voice, your own writing style, your own way. You know, some people will just answer these questions. All right. What are your topics of interest? Okay. What is your topic? You want to use just one. And you want to relate it to your field of interest right now. If you do not have a field of interest, just say English is your field of interest, because you want to learn how to write as a collegiate academic writer. This topic bothers some people because they think academic writing is technical writing, but it can also be creative writing. And it can involve illustrations, just like my work does. However, or paintings. However, these people might be surprised to learn that academic writing and collegiate writing incorporates the individual's voice with supporting documentation or quotes and reading from other texts or acquiring information from the digital, from the computer. If I choose to write about this topic, I will be sure to discuss what my topics of interest are and why I am choosing to take on this challenge as a English writer, a creative writer, and an integrative literacy adult learner. And so, okay, so what I have done is I did that and I worked through some of this stuff, and I'm not saying it is perfect. That's not the goal either. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is just to answer those 5 questions and list those 5 questions for yourself. Use it as an opportunity to write a personal poem, or use it as an opportunity to start an outline for your personal writing style. That's what a reflection, your personal journal entry, okay? And it's not due, it's due on the 2nd week after you've done it. So if this is your first week, you just read it, then next week. If I've already done it, I will show you what I've done, and then I'll read the poem to you, and then I'll let you go, okay? And then the next time I meet you or talk to you, I'll talk to you about my 2nd week, because I've already worked on it and I want to try to stay a week ahead to kind of reflect upon everything, and also give you the opportunity to know that I'm here for you, and that maybe you have something else to contribute, and I want to be open to that. I hope that explains that what I'm trying to do. I want to just try to stay a week ahead of you, so we can you can include in your comments, and you can reflect on your own writing if you want to take on this challenge yourself. Please contact people that are interested in this also. I do not have that opportunity, so I'm just going to add it into social media, and hopefully it helps other people in the long run. And maybe it'll help instructors and students create their own work. How's that sound? So, it says to create your personal poem first. Now, I did it kind of backwards, I guess, because I really, I'll tell you what I did first. I wrote that list down, and what I wrote quickly is I wrote here, 1, what was I looking for? The topic was voice, and because I want to be successful in expressing my own voice. 3, the topic bothers some people because they think it's all about me and creating a sense of status or class or isolation regarding the work itself, maybe. However, people might be surprised to learn that writing can be a struggle, but it can also be encouraging and create confidence, and it also can create connections with other people and networking with other people. So the facts of personal reality and optimism and resilience come from that. Okay, so that's what I started with my list, and that's where I jumped off of. And I said, basically, and I'll read the end of my reflection so it's not to keep you. Let's see if I can read this, okay? So my intentions and okay, no. My claim is to encourage my voice, and not get, but don't get me wrong, that during all the yeah, okay, all the time is poetic. The point I'm trying to make is that finding my tonality, harmony, and personal expression. Excuse me if I can minimize this for a minute and maximize this. The point I'm trying to make is that I'm trying to find my tonality, harmony, and personal expression like a jazz or a blues singer, using, like a musical meta commentary of poetry by readers, or such as, or nursery rhyme reading. This is how I reflected on our learned voice, and has developed and how to develop it for a wider audience to understand. I'm sorry this is a little fragmented, but you're getting the gist of it. Therefore, creating a unique jazz or blues singing or voice can add to the reading of poetry, and also creating a visual images and the performance of writing an essay. So I'm trying to perform better poetry, not to be perfect, but to be better, okay? Plus the individual voices that I can develop can raise confidence of me, the individual, to reach beyond former technical goals, as in coursework or critical thinking compositions, and analyzing the writing expression styles of my person, like myself. Intonation, inflections, and speech techniques can inform new listening as an audience, not just for me to meet, but for the opportunity to create. So those are my goals, and I didn't really go into too much of what other people think, because I find what other people are thinking may not hold I don't want to say water, but I want to say that it's not real. It's to an extent, most people are realistic and factual, right? And they want to make sure you're okay, and they want to make sure everything is working for you, and that you're being heard, right? But it's also good to be listened to, and understand the facts of what it means to be a professional person in your field. And it doesn't mean that you're going to always get it right, okay? But you can still, that doesn't mean you can't pursue your goals and try to be better and become more successful as a writer like myself. And that means trying to stay resilient and respectful to yourself, and try to be optimistic as best as possible. Okay? So that was where I came to with my own voice, is trying to continue to work on my self-confidence and my understanding and background of my writing, and what informs my poetry writing or my creative writing as a digital writer. But again, this course is about critical writing and trying to be more academic, I guess, in my expression. But we're not there yet. We're not there. It's only the first week, okay? So what I started with is with the first reflection, and it says here, You can write it in a reflection, which I provided for you, or and sorry, and let me see if I can get there. Excuse me. And start with a personal poem. Okay, so that's what I did afterwards. I took a walk, and the metaphors or the poem will reflect upon, I hope, my introduction to academic writing and creative expression assignment for to learn my own voice and to start to rein that in and to find that own voice and not adhere to other people's voice, but to really get into my own self-expression and style. And so here's what I did, and I hope you like it. So right now I'm just going to provide you with this. Remember to copy and paste and find your own voice and add to this, and search a few and listen to a few. They do have closed captions, so if that's easier for you. And please fill this out initially. It can be your poem, you can build off that or however. But this is the first chapter. You don't really have to read the first chapter, but if you do have the text, it's a great text to have for your library, okay? For continual reading. They provide templates of further academic writing exercises that you can plug into. And now this person or this instructor has said something about veganism, okay? Or vegetarian, can't say. Yeah. I want to say veterinarianism, but it's not. Vegetarianism. Okay, vegetarianism is people who eat chicken and vegetables, but some people have issues with that. Okay, but there are also people called vegans. So vegans and so forth are different. Okay, so I went a little further with that. So please look up for that, and it's a great exercise. I found it very informing, and this is my poem, which I'm going to read to you, and we'll come to the second week next time we speak, and you can listen to it next week. Okay, you can follow next time. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to X out this for now, and we're going to come back here, and it's 30 minutes past the hour or before the hour. So I call this, and it's rough. Don't kill the messenger. It's called Healing the Air. Okay, healing and the air of causation, looking for the right place to play while listening to still secrets, life of pines, where crushed ground and branches break, levels as the bubble breaks as the level bubble balances. The level is a tool. Anyway, the performance, the merit, the standard to continue on the search for developing, for the betterment, meeting purpose from the meaning of compassion, transfiguring is the obstacle, or is the application, okay, where conceits become the metaphoric. Healing is the air of fairness, settling on the least disciplined for the scholar. I'm an educational institution where tomes stand like trees with shells branches out from their tome secrets. No more gravel than human safety. Sweeping snow. Sweeping snow rhythms, sun glow glisten with sand gravel tones natural in the holistic black sense open to the ideal of dreams to as I look at myself in the mirror and wonder what are the lessons of my life. What is the tragedy? Do I say no to you, judgment? Do I accept the past as the past and move on or onward to do all I move to help another, someone else like myself? So, yep. So you can hear that it's rough, and I can't get a pen where. So I hope you like that. And what do I expect to find? These are some expectations I added. To find my voice, I'm expanding my emotions of poetic verses for lyrical and songwriting and ballad writing, influenced by my rural past and present, jazz, blues, rhythm blues, spirituals, gospels, hymns, country music, to popular titles, topics, and themes for marginalized contemporary individuals. Okay, so it's not just about me, but about other people, and hopefully it'll help other people. And I go on to say more because it led into more. But let me just read the last paragraph and I'll let you go. Even though my goals have begun with the development of, I don't know what that word is, of others, and the abdication of such empty conceits, will begin with interrogating the literature provided and add my own artistic expressions with the desire of learning the academic techniques and technology to develop career talents and skills to decode my poetic literary as a literacy as an individual with disabilities or dysphonica and the ill standards or educational stratification that overwhelms me regarding my future books of poetry, which I've talked to you about, my strengths and instead of my weaknesses by creating new classical creations as a writer for the 21st century. After revising and reflecting on the TEDx voice, I will excavate my reflections based on the videos I have reviewed and continue to internalize as in visual poetry that you see behind me and beyond. Okay, so I hope this helps you. It's not perfect, and that's okay, but it does provide you with some some beginnings for this new challenge. And I think this challenge will give you some thoughts of critical thinking. I think it'll also expand your conversation on what your desires are for the future as an adult learner. And it will for me. So good luck, and I wish you well, and take care, and continue reading your poetry and creating art that informs your life. Okay? Take care.